We are the change makers, the innovators. We are solving the problems of the 21st century. We create, we lead, we inspire. Beginning your journey at Central University is opening your chapter to success. Here, we are a family that works together to make the change today for a better Sierra Leone and world tomorrow. Here is a home for you. Central University, a place where careers begin.
We fumble them in a good evening. If you're in America, we'll say good afternoon. Today, we get some important things we want to discuss. Sierra Network Radio and Television, as you know, now a platform or place where we discuss issues about things that happen at Salone. So me when they talk to you now, me na engineer Victor Mengot, me na a member of the Sierra Leone Institute of Engineers and a fellow of the Chartered Institute of Highways and Transportation UK, as well as a technical advisor for the campaign for safe roads in Salone, Road Safe. This campaign here, we don't deal with them for over 12 years. So today the topic we want to look at is road accident and road safety. And we will say road safety not to accidents. When people then die or they're injured na road or then damage, people then say na God say. Not to say na God say. We get way for look at them thing. And before we start this program, we want to remember all them people they were don't lost in a road accident. They want they were then damaged. And just recently, a well-known friend of ours, we don't spend the time at the diaspora, go home. I'm the technical director for Bo Rangers Club. He lost in life in an accident, a young man of 50. Apart from him, this week we pass also, we get accident at Bere Bridge, where about 10 people then die. On Thursday, we got another accident at Calbatom, where about 3 or 4 people then die. So, to honor the dead, Lord, get a minute silence before we can start this real program today. So the minute silence in honor of the one that would have lost in life. May the souls of the departed rest in perfect peace. And as we say, we country in a religious country, let God give them al-Jannah. And let God comfort the one the way they mourn their loss. So, why we can't do this program? This program are for 3 reasons. I don't talk about the first one, the people that we don't die on the road. The one that we the hospital, we then they care for. The second reason, now almost 1 year the Welly fire disaster. With that disaster, we lost 154 people then. Some man been there at the bus, some na the one that we go take fuel, some na the people that we been there at the road. And after the accident they been the president been set up a task force for look at how they will prevent the accidents later on. We call it disaster management. But then we will talk about that later. The third reason why they do this program, the UN, the United Nations, and the African Union, November, the 20th of November, that is the third Sunday, now waiting and call the World Remembrance Day for Road Accident Victims. It's also that same day, now they commemorate Africa Road Safety Day. So for them 3 reasons here, now make sure they do this program. And what thing I say, we know one for the cry bearing, for them and we die all the time. Live life together and enjoy with life and be productive souls in our society. And if you look at the accident statistics, now the young people in they go. But we'll talk about that later on. But just for Guinea, the scene, for set the scene. The Salone Road Safety Authority, when I then get a responsibility there for actually do everything about road safety. They say from January to September this year, 9,300 people are not involved in an accident. And out of that, 230 people are not die. If you take that figure, that 230 people, it's like say, now a whole village now wipe out. So road accident, na national disaster. And this World Remembrance Day, the theme for this year, waiting and the focus on. Now for remember, what they do now, we remember, support, we support the government, we support the good at people them, like we own organization, the campaign for road safety, and we act on them. And then talk about justice for road victims. And when they talk about justice, even when you get accidents, for claim insurance, no problem. So how we go do this program today? We do what they call evidence-based. We show in our video clips and picture them. And then we look at the accident, what caused the accident. And then we tell her how to prevent the accident. So the first area where they look, na driver and rider behavior. Because what I mean by rider, Okada na don't turn the main means of transport. And I think so with technical team go show in a one video clip where Okada rider they try for moving Okada, where according to people them, we get one drug now where we young people and they take what they call kush. So let the technical team play and then I will explain the situation.
This is the bigger passenger. This is the bigger passenger. Gone. This is the bigger passenger. This is the bigger passenger. Gone. This is the bigger passenger.
The other one, where now one driver, where in self, he don't take kush. Person get drive, he dey inside the motor car, and what we see him is half awake. Now one good person, now go pull the key and take the motor car, go park and safely.
Family, na morning, this man has so inside this motor car driver. This driver, after 7 like this, can pack people motor car. You see that what's holding here and so na cool water. This na for step down the push where you take. But take the push slip and fetter. Don't pack people motor car. People in money don't can pack now. If somebody can pull and don't dish no. Pull and say candle, then take people motor car then go down. Now we don't come pull the key. See the key hole? We lock. Everywhere they talk in here. And the kiddies look at it and hand. And the kiddies. I don't pull, I don't know nothing. You can take the deep and sleep. You don't take drugs. So outside they come now. For the safety of this motor car, and they can pull on the steering wheel, put her over the passenger seat, so I go park the motor car at police station. Whosoever gets them, they come for country camp later in the day. But this thing now problem, this drugs business, we then drive at the house, life and death stake. And they tell you, me brother, then. It's a problem. Oh, look am. Don't pull it, you know nothing. I don't talk back, you know nothing. You don't drugs. It's early morning. People in life, people property. It's a problem all that this country. To God.
See then 2 video clips here. Let's start with the Okada rider them. We all know how Okada can at all. And the Okada rider them, beaucoup people and they say, now then they take people around because then they provide job them. But what you will not get now how they regulate then driver they are. We get law then at the country. We get law the way they deal with Okada. Say then for actually get helmet. Even the passenger themselves for get helmet. Because when you get accident, now Okada, if you for them, now you aid the neck. Not for just get the helmet you wear and pan yourself no more. You get for get proper helmet, you get for strap. So drugs and alcohol abuse as well, we get law then a Salone for them thing in the. Then law then they we get 2 law them. We get the Road Traffic Act 2007, we get the Road Traffic Regulation 2011. And under that section D, section 102 of the Road Traffic Act, it talk about alcohol use. It talk about how government for manage the breathalyzer. The Salone Road Safety Authority say, Salone Brewery, the way they produce rum, they don't give them breathalyzer for the breathalyzer for do random tests. What's in a breathalyzer? Now, some 2 way then they put where you blow them, it show you the alcohol level with the your body. But then can only do and do in Christmas. And we know say Christmas time, now that 10 day where all day we fumble them where they call JC. Now that 10 day then they go town. So this not way government for they do regularly. For they do their alcohol test. The law also say if you involve in an accident, the police the first way them for do it and caution you, then for make you blow na that tube day for see if alcohol in your blood. The other thing, the drugs one, we not get weight, but again, the same law will get, they can do blood tests. And if you do blood tests, so they suspect, say this person, they take drug, then we will know if you get drug inside your system. So this drugs business, which we drive at them, na big problem. And that's the way government get for look into. The other two we get for talk on this road safety, now what we call rules of the road. How driver them, they use the road. And I can give an example. Most of we driver them, they don't know how to approach roundabout. If you look out, we they drive on the right. So, if you approach roundabout, I'll give you an example last showing in one place, one roundabout where no but that Congo cross roundabout. If you they come up from that girls' school end, you want to go down Wilkinson Road. Then you get vehicle there where they come on by Signal Hill Road or King Street. They negotiate the roundabout. You get for stop and let them pass. So the general rule is give way to traffic on the left. Roundabout to we driver them. Now Uda trust in board a kind side. That is a serious issue. But what you do get a problem there? The law in there. The law in our books that say for driver forget a license, he get forget 2 tests. He get forget theory test, whether they nothing for deal with the road traffic signs them, the traffic signal them, the traffic law them, basic first aid, and all them things in there. Then say we don't begin do that theory test there, but we still need for do more. And I they determine which you the test driver them. All countries in the world, then get what they call highway code. Highway code 9 are the rules of the road. We've been getting a Salone. And the last time we renew our record now over 40 years ago. That time they will change from left hand to right hand traffic. Where that time some of we been get sense. All over the road, radio them go and sing when they sing say na for go safu safu. Na for go safu safu. So all them thing and they we get for do am. Then again, then tell what they talk, not to something we new. Before we get road safety authority, we been get Salone road transport department na Kisi Road. We been get some part we been there, like pa McFoy or other part we been there, where now then they take you that practical test day. Not like now we na the yard then they test you. And for do that practical test day, you get certain skills them where you get forget. So you get a route where you test. The route will be they use, I will explain that to you. When you come on at the road transport department at Kisi Road, you turn right. Like say you go up gun turntable. The first thing they test you, now I they come on at the yard, you do what you call MSM. You check your mirror, you signal, and you maneuver. Then you enter the road. Then at the first test. The second test, now how you they negotiate roundabout. So then you carry go to that up gun turntable day. You know, see a 4-way roundabout. For no how for giveaway. Then you go Black Hole Road. When you drive in a Black Hole Road, down then they test you lane discipline. They are reached by that PWD junction. When at that road they go Suicide Road Authority day, you they turn right for go Kisi. Up Kisi. Waiting and they test you. Now I they come off from a major road to a minor road. Because you get oncoming traffic. So then they test you, how you they assess. Then they can go up now some quiet road where then they go test you for do reverse parking, parallel parking, and also then they can go na hill. Tender hill. You go do hill start. You know, because some parts Freetown and some part in our country na hill. Driver get for know how for start na hill. I've been get one situation where somebody been described around Wilberforce also Kintap. Where they go Regent Road, Wilberforce, you can't cross Wilkinson Road now up the hill they go. So if traffic block, you stop na hill. If you not sabi for maneuver your car, you go roll, then you bang people in. So then test then they what you need to do them. You learn discipline. The other thing where we not get na tongue, it is on side, but you know the other side, na thing they like traffic signs. Because the traffic signs them, now then the rules of the road, now then they show you waiting for do. No entry sign, stop sign, giveaway sign. Then the same with road markings back. Zebra. Na place where na for mortal man for cross. Now make sure then they design zebra, then get zigzag line. Where you know for park near there. All the one and they in our book. So driver competence na something where we get for work on. Yeah. How they enforce the law within the book. How will they actually provide information for them. Then the other thing where very important what I want to talk now, I will get that lorry. Where they cause accident now, what we call fatigue, tiredness. The law will get under the Road Traffic Act 2007, Section 91. Like where they do long distance, and they talk for them people the way they go upline this Christmas and their holiday maker. The driver, the law say after every 5.5 hours, the driver for take an half-hour rest. In then country all day, then get rest stops them. We will not get. So now the thing that they will talk. So I don't talk about driver behavior, where they cause accident, things for do with alcohol, knowledge of the road, rules of the road, and behavior. So the next area where I can talk about, now then goods vehicle them. Goods vehicle them, what I mean by goods vehicle, you get what you call a rigid vehicle, then now you get the tractor head, and then they buy size, then 30 ton, 25 ton. Then vehicle then they, Now, then they cause beaucoup accidents. Recently, we don't get accidents where one vehicle of the one and they, where they take load, they go down Savage Street, na timber, they go bang. And that time, nobody not been died. But we get another one again by Hill Station, where na container lorry, where inside go get accidents, could begin they all die. So again, how we go look into solve them problem they with them goods vehicle and they? Number one, we get law na Salone, we talk about the weight of the vehicle. Then they under what we call the construction and use regulation. Then they na the road traffic regulation, section 54, construction and use. And then we get a law we say no vehicle where you don't load the vehicle in weight plus the load not for past 53.55 tons. So like give a figure, let you understand. Because we get beaucoup vehicle them, like them flatbed truck, the way they transport cement. Then cement lorry, then we don't see them plenty. So let's say that vehicle they in gross weight na 40 ton. Then away no get no load. Then if you load 500 bags cement, that means the total weight don't be 65 ton, which is 11 tons more than waiting government allow. And when the vehicle load so, now two things can happen but then load then they. Number one, the driver can get problem for maneuver that vehicle there because of the drag. The other thing, you not go able to control them. And more so them vehicle and they also they damage the road. We get law we say, if your vehicle overweight by 1 ton, then go charge you 300,000 old leons or 300 new leons. So for that example, they were give you, where the total weight is na 65 ton, then suppose for charge that driver day 3.3 million old leons or 3,300 new leons. But not for that no more. For do that day, government get forget we bridge. Waiting we bridge they do. When you drive on top the place, it they give you the total weight of the vehicle. We get we bridge them. I can tell you, the mining company then get we bridge. Then toll road, then toll gates them. Each one get we bridge. But we not put the law in place for we enforce that law for them people them where they load them vehicle. So the other one when a serious problem now the condition of the vehicle. Let the technical team show in a one vehicle when a Sansan lorry, then I go telling her waiting at the problem. Okay, now see this lorry, then lorry here, now then they go around them beach area for go take Sansan. Number one, you not get winds, now plastic they put there. We mean say they obstruct the driver vision, invisibility, not go able to see other road users them. Number two, you no need for test them vehicle for no say you not mechanically fit. And some of them vehicle where you look at the tire then smooth like where I guess I need. And we get law for tire and atom. The law say you know for use their retreadable tire. You know then tire then where then the thread, where they not old tire then get machine where then the tire for. And when they check tire, you get what they call the groove. Then small gutter where they pan the tire. International law say it get for be 1.6 millimeters. But we Salone we call them 1.8 millimeters. The second thing at the tire, now the pressure where they put in at the tire. Because when you see that truck they don't overload, the weight of the tire, it they make sure say you know they only damage the road, in order to make the vehicle able to move very well. And again, for bring this problem, the technical team go show one accident recently in a Kalbatong. That in a Thursday, where be involved one lorry with a transport cement. So whilst they load this one, the other one them, where I go talk about, and then lorry them, where they go down Wataki, where they remove goods, where get container. And we get law that we say, when you get container, now you lorry, you get for make sure say you secure them. You get for secure them. And the law will deal with the road capacity there. Now the road traffic regulation 2011. So we don't see beaucoup accidents then. We container the for them. And when they container they for them, then they affect the people then. Like the one we been at Kalbaton recently, the driver they try for maneuver, he go bang one motoka, the motoka self bang Okada driver, the Okada rider them, the Okada all damage. So then container lorry then they, na serious problem. But when they talk again about lorry, the other accident the way can be, and then lorry where they go up line, where they apply the road. Also, we get law in our country we say, then lorry then they, then forget reflection. Reflective thing, the liquid thing the way they paste pan the lorry. You understand? Where now net, if you the drive will not get lights in our streets, where you headlight point pan that lorry there, it the lights there strips and they will go make you know say danger there. So the lorry them now serious problem. Also on the we also get law say you forget that safety triangle. Where you park that lorry there, you get certain meters, that two triangles you forget. One way there before and one way there behind. Luminous, what I mean by luminous, it means if the net light up, you don't see them for obstruction there on the road. So also think them, if you look at some of them lorry, then they say they don't even get park lights them. So you know they get light. And waiting at the cause of all them thing. Recently, the government announced say they non-partner with a company where they call Autospec. Where Autospec do what you call roadworthiness. What I mean by now for check the vehicle them for the mechanical condition. And how that test did take place. Then they check the carriage of the vehicle, then check the tire then, no say all the tire them correct. And we get always say and pneumatic tire there for look. We get machine where they check them brake. Not only the brake, then they check the indicators them. Also think they check the wiper say it work. Especially we can get 6 months rain. If you get vehicle where the wiper not good, rain meet you in a road, then in a problem. The other thing where this week we see all them government people and the big allergy them, then go Egypt, then go talk about climate change. And because that they get waiting and they call greenhouse gas. And vehicle them where they pull smoke, then they contribute to that. Waiting that problem they did. The greenhouse gas them, that smoke they way then lorry in the pool. Picking and they work go school. When they inhale that smoke then it cause breathing problem. Would I get asthma and everything. But the other dangerous thing where camper road accident. If that lorry they claim ill, where they put force on the lorry, the smoke where they emit, if you're not driver where they bien, it obstruct your visibility. And some people like want overtake, you don't know say an oncoming road they come. So they smoke and they way obstruct your visibility. What I mean visibility? How far you go see for see if trouble then at the road, it dey cause accident. So we have to pay particular attention to vehicle maintenance, road checks, roadworthiness tests, and all that thing in there. So then they come under 50 on the highway. So let's go back. I don't talk about driver behavior. I don't talk about them lorry them. We even get them bus themselves. Them big bus, they're not diesel than they use. And then they emit a lot of smoke. The other thing again, we get law them about the horn they're waiting at them vehicle than they. Some of them big lorry than they are, don't they free tongue, then horn then are like ship on. Where they blow that on day. It even the noise where they come out, it even affects not only the people there where they work on a street, it even affects the other vehicle them. So this now all thing the way governments get for look at. Not for say law no though, we get the law. But what's not the problem? We get for set this, the procedure and the enforcement. We get for equip the enforcement officer then. I don't take 30 minutes and I don't cover two things. For the next 15 minutes, I want to cover two other areas then where we go look at. Then I want to continue this conversation. I go answer to all in a question them. I will get in our own ideas them. And at the end of the day, from waiting at the talk all the way to the talk show, we were able to put and through to the bigger ledger than our government. So the next area I want to talk about now the passenger and user responsibility. What I mean user, road user. Them people then where they work on a street. Now America, made in England, but America then get law where they call jaywalking. What in jaywalking mean? Where they work on the road carelessly. And they cross the road in a place where you not for cross. Even the zebra crossing themselves will get where passenger for cross. The kind paint where then they use self, it fade because of weather condition. Normally you get for use a thermoplastic paint. Right? So how people in the work on the road, even the pavement themselves, we then design for people and for worker. Together they not occupy the pavement. So people are not getting no other chance but for work on the street. We get laws them, we deal with street trading. Again, they law and they now city council and the SLRSA and the police, they all get rights for observe street trading laws then. And it come back to enforcement. But how we go do that? Now through continuous for the talk to people then. Where we go school? Na Salone. Me I be small where they go primary school. Because a lot of accidents they involve them school picking them. And like come to them school picking and they. The mommy and daddy then get responsibility. Where I can see mommy then put 3 picking on top Okada for carry them go school. And I be not talk about the Okada rider then they where they take drugs. They know they assess the risk, saying that they picking their life then they put at risk. Same way so we get law then we say Okada not for take more than 1 person. We don't see people them they take Okada, then put small fridge self on top of the Okada. You understand? Then again, the law not allow them. Another thing we have to talk about for user behavior. Now, they overload vehicle them. We get law we say even then trailer them, we they see people in the anger pan trailer, the law not permit you for put people in a trailer and then goods vehicle them. If you carry iron rod the iron rod where you put under the flatbed trucks. You understand? It protrude out. That means it hang out. Sometimes they can tie pieces and they like red pieces. For sure say, but that is not enough. It is not permitted. One other thing I will talk about user behavior. This is not Christmas time. And we brother the wedding at the diaspora from America and England. And then tell them can go jay, they go gladdy. Someone at that time, if you don't get where for go the last day, you don't see one woman, or the woman don't see man the last day, don't promise her they can marry you. You can get Boku married them. And waiting at the problem. What get them married then they people and they go rent them vehicle and then cap on them. And some of them vehicle and they're not even insured. The one way beats me past all. Now we then keep open the top. The bridesmaid and then young people then put them on top. Then the driver where they drive, sometimes they drive against traffic. They blow on. But what's it make you the hurry for go married? Why you for disturb all them people and they just because they go married? Them behavior they for stop. And then say, Englishman say, a fish starts getting rotten from the head. In Creole again, we got a parable work say, na before foot, na bien foot de fala. When we president can have power, they call him Mr. Talk and Do. The first year we can, within 3 months, he put law say, no minister or bigger lejo, not for broke traffic. Yeah? The Inspector General at the time, himself put you on. But waiting they happen. You dey see them people there waiting at the problem. Now because we get a system where then they give people in person a government number plate. You get minister, you get a number plate. You get a parastatal and get a number plate. You get an NGO themselves, some of them, they get a number plate. So the driver then, when they get a number plates, then government have number plates there. Then feel say, it give them license for let them broke traffic. And when them broke traffic, with that poor policeman stop them for say pa not to so for do. The first way they talk, you say, you know then are me. Recently, another video been there. We go social media where somebody will then say they work now one of them big office there. The poor woman, when a traffic warden, they try for doing work. You go tell and say, pa, not for park here. Right? The way the man talk to the woman, the way we tell and say, he use power. So there, Papa government, when I put law, when I talk say something of happen, let in start by example. And let give some of my experience because I don't work in a different African country. I will get experience from Rwanda. Rwanda is one of the most disciplined countries.
This is the Central University. Here, we move a little differently. We are the change makers, the innovators. We are solving the problems of the 21st century. We create, we lead, we inspire. Beginning your journey at Central University is opening your chapter to success. Here, we are a family that works together to make the change today for a better Sierra Leone and world tomorrow. Here is a home for you. Central University, a place where careers begin. This is the Central University. Here, we move a little differently. We are the change makers, the innovators. We are solving the problems of the 21st century. We create, we lead, we inspire. Beginning your journey at Central University is opening your chapter to success. Here, we are a family that works together to make the change today for a better Sierra Leone and world tomorrow. Here is a home for you. Central University, a place where careers begin.
Okay, then fumble them. Now, we'll begin interact with you now. Feel free for writing a comments them. I don't know whether this person, one of the things the way he say, okay, let's start with the first one. We say due to poor road condition, the lack of traffic rules, speed limit and road sign, the lack of road awareness. Okay, yes, and that road condition there where you talk about, a good way you bring Dandy, because Dandy give me time for talk about the number 4 area where they talk about road design. Now, when you try for design road, the first thing where you do, you look at the topography of the road. What I mean topography, how if na hill parts or na downhill and everything. Now from that, each road gets a design speed. Internationally, we get 2 standards for road designs. In America, they get what they call the AASHTO standard, when a AASTHO, which means they call them the American Association of Safety and Highway Transport Officers. So they get standard for all them design. We in England and the other part, we get what they call International Standards Organization. Now you say the poor road condition, yes, it can first span the design, then it talk about poor road condition, also maintenance, not key. And I don't talk what they talk about then lorry then they damage the road. And if you look at some of the road, because of the weight, the road there and we get warm sand, the lorry then they make groove na the road. They tell like say the road get croco. So then it deal with how we maintain we road. You also talk about lack of traffic rules. Salone gets a very up-to-date traffic rules. Now make sure I mean quote the rules then with 2 rules they will get. Now Road Traffic Act 2007 and the Road Traffic Regulation 2011. All which are the talk so the rules then there. None of us will not get rules. Now 2 things. We know they enforce the rules. Then secondly, we know they make public awareness of their rules and they. In our own days, all the time they talk now, thing we don't get in the past. Then they were old enough, they go remember say SLBS began a program where they call 4-wheel and 2-foot. The 4-wheel, now for motoka, the 2-foot, now for mortal man. If we want make that same program then now, me go call on 2-wheel, we na Okada, 3-wheel, we na keke, 4-wheel, we na taxi and bus them and poda, 6-wheel, we na then truck them. So public education is very important. And I talk about their school there again. When we go school, traffic police them in go na primary school, me na Samaria school I go. And they around Wellington Street and that main Shaka Stevens Street. We then turn a day for cross picking them with a landway which they call the green cross code. The one that we remember, then go tell you say that code they when then traffic officer them they go, then they tell you say look left, look right, look left again. If the road is clear, quick march. So we forget education at the schools them. We get things like Red Cross Society them. We get Boys Scout, boys, then thing and then a thing away for the teaching schools. You know, in some countries they already established road safety clubs in a school. So dande, na in, na dande. Now let's go to the next person, your own question, your own comment. He say, he determines say they not go obey. Yes or no. You know, Salone business stronger. You understand? But if the law the way people that know say the law go bet you, then go obey. Okay, like give one law way day. Na Salone. We know they ever implement that law that they give, and I will tell you how to set the system for that law. Like them country how they even same way in a Salone, if you go under the Road Traffic Act 2007, section 100, you get what they call penalty point system. What does that mean? It means say when you commit certain offense, even if they fine you, then they give you points na your license. You know, like if you park na zebra, na 6 points then they give you. So then get a total. So if you reach 11 points inside 1 year, right? The government can make sure say then seize your license, then ban you driving for almost 12 months. And for get a license they back, you get for go take a new test and then give you license back. So the law then they not to now first we know the officer. The next comment, drink driving is also a major factor for road accidents in Salone. Yes, now there start me beginning. We get drink driving, law them, now enforcement. As I say, Salone Brewery, we don't give road safety authority them breathalyzer. That's why they blow like blow for check the alcohol level. But we not get for wait for let then give it free. Not so because we they free to. All them thing and they that's where government can provide. Because if you take road safety authority, then they collect baby money. I'll get for do the next program where we talk about all the revenue where they come from road. You understand? So this is not standard. Highway patrol, we forget people that we get policeman them. Mobile police, where them forget the breathalyzer. They also then get radar speed gun them. Where go Zambia recently, the police then get them. Speed management is very important. Yeah. So now, let's take the next comment. The person said, looking back over the weekend, I'm quite surprised that no government has explained to the ordinary man and woman about road safety and the rules of the road. Okay. Let's tell you waiting they happen. The road safety authority in true to them, then get a road safety hour. And that road safety hour day, then he broadcast on a SLBS or they call it SLBC television. But almost people then get time for watch SLBC television. What me go suggest, we get community radios them all over. We get an association of community radios, over 100 in the country. We also get an agency where the last year ago, Mr. Binon do a program with them, which is National Council for Civic Education for Development. These are the people who should up their games. For they get regular program then and then community radio them. Where each community radio, you get myself say I don't do radio program na Rokupu radio. So if you use all them community radio then they and the area where then they talk the Mami language, which people they understand. Talk na Limba, talk na Fula, talk na Creole, talk na Mende, talk na Timini. Because na constant reminder we get for the remind with people them. Say, Now, one life we get to. Again, another project we are doing in Kenya, we will do an experiment where they empower the people. What I mean empower them, give them sense. So when they inside Poda, where driver the speed, then they tell us, say, driver, no speedo, because you where the driver the carry go, now your responsibility for make sure say that driver they behave for behave. We get law again where say the driver not for the eat, enough for the smoke inside the vehicle. And one of the major cause of accidents, now this use of mobile phones, where people and they use phone when they drive. Not only the one the way they drive, we get the one the way they work on a street, where they don't get a Bluetooth, they don't put something at the ears. Then they cross the road, they know they listen for traffic. You also get situation where they young girl them, they go jump no Okada. They get for go doing runs. Where they go for go doing runs? If they sit down at the Okada, they text. No, this is not all human behavior. All them here a constant reminder. I don't go Salone, I don't do road show, I don't go to them traffic park them, where they talk to driver them or all them things. So they work boku. But road safety, now everybody in responsibility. Not just government. The government, the driver, the Okada rider, the keke rider, you and me, the one way they work on a street, where they go home, who go brother and sister than I am. Now they make this message to right now, where they go holiday. Then country where then they, and what all day, you know, crazy drink and drive. But you go see them in a tongue, where then go about this in a salon. If they drive, then they drink. Things are like wearing of seatbelt. So, now then at the TV they talk about, and somebody comment again, where that person there, myself they mourn the loss of with dear friend Eric Lansana. We know it's a waste of life. But there are more Eric Lansanas all over the world, all over Salone. And as I'm telling you again, this year alone, for within 8 months, right? Almost 9,000 people are involved. So let's go to the next comment. Papa, the police don't check this. Just give them tell-us you are good to go. Yes. Let me make one thing clear. Not a police no more, they enforce traffic law. You get 3 enforcement agencies there. You get the City Council Metropolitan Police, where then they wear that gold top and black trusses. Then they get responsibility now the central business district inside town for parking enforcement. We get the police, Salone Traffic Police. We also get road safety corps, what we call traffic warden. You understand? Then self get responsibility. So what we get for do, we get for look at the role of all the agencies there. And we make sure say we know where to define their role, what in them for do, which law them for enforce, and how them for work with each other. Not to no more say this is not my own territory. Yes, we know say that they happen. Now I'll go to the next comment. The government should introduce MOT centers. All vehicles should undergo MOT every 6 months or a year. Yes. Let's tell you now and talk about that. Government don't sign agreement with a private company where they call Autospec. Autospec don't build a center on mile 6 for the test vehicle. Then. But now one grain center will get. The only other side where they test vehicle for mechanical fitness, for means say this vehicle is cool for them at the road. Now the SLRSA office na Kisi Road. And then they deal mostly with their imported vehicles then. Recently, I heard a program where somebody they say the government get a law where say, you know, for import any vehicle we pass 8 years old in Salone. Now the first send them in the area. You know. So again, I agree with you. The MOT test. The law say commercial vehicle now every 6 months. Private vehicle now every 12 months. So apart from giving to one company, my own suggestion before this kind of power, now for let the government set up an agency when they set the standard, then they license garages them all over the country now each district where then they monitor where then can they do the test. But we'll get for good. Let's take the next comment. This person say, in my very humble opinion, all is not lost. Let's go back to basic and start to educate the road users in all of the local languages about the rules of the road and road safety. Thank you very much. I don't know if now woman or man, but now the same thing we will talk. So the program done they go almost 1 hour now. Anybody else want to contribute? Yes, somebody talk overspeeding is the main problem to drivers in our country. Okay, let me address that issue there of overspeeding. We get speed limits in a town, and the maximum speed limits in the road then they. If you look some of them vehicle then now 80 kilometers per hour. I think say ordinary vehicle for them commercial vehicle now 100 kilometers per hour. But when you look at speed, how do you enforce speed? You get 3 ways of enforcing speed. This now waiting they don't do now other African country they want to work. You get one, you get what you call static camera, then speed camera when they put in a pole where they actually check your speed. But you get preventive measures. Now in technology, you can use solar power. We get in another country here, where when you put them at the pole, it tell you the driver where they approach, say, almost now your speed. If now 50 miles or 50 kilometers per hour they run, it tell you say slow down. It show you your speed. That in a preventive measures. You get the preventive one, where you stop for let it happen. You get the one I will call the one where they punish you for. We exceed the speed limit. And now one day now, we get for look at radar speed guns. I worked in Liberia recently, and from the program we do, we give the Liberian police their radar speed guns here. So now mobile patrols. So yes, speed is very important. That's the way we get for look at. In other countries, I can give so many examples. In Nigeria, recently I worked in Somaliland, even in Kenya. Then get what they call speed governors. That speed governors, they are instruments where they put in the vehicle, especially then commercial vehicle, then bus and then lorry them. Where they make sure say that vehicle they like we say na 80 kilometers per hour for them big bus they. In order to go above 80 kilometers. I talk about another thing when a tachographs. Tachographs again are instruments where they fit na the vehicle, then get digital, where it readable. So if police stop you, he ask you from your destination, also you begin and that time they will stop you. You know the distance, it can tell whether it is speed. That same instrument they can even check if you don't rest for how long you don't drive that vehicle there. Yes, again, no good vehicle fitness testing, no good driver training and exams. Yes, that's not the program. We actually, I don't talk about that. The vehicle fitness test. As I say, they don't begin them, they don't set the pace. Then get one big place where get 6 lanes them, na mile 6, but that is not enough. So then the government not they look into them. But let's be honest. If we actually do road vehicle testing, I can tell you and say 90% of the vehicle them, commercial vehicle them, not go pass that testing. But we are going there. This other person say most of the driver they don't understand road sign. Understanding road sign are one, because that they now part of the test where they test you now we go for your license. Because now SLRI say every 5 years, they for go test. Then they test on road signs. But not for just the test no more. Now the availability of road signs. Who side they put up, who side then they. So, how do you do it? You know, you do it by examining the roads them, look at who side danger day. I will discuss that in details during my next program. If we not get any other comments, as we see, the technical team don't put we toll-free line. And if you they America lie in a voice, let me say no more than a talk. They don't put you toll-free line. So in a calm law share ideas. Nobody no get monopoly in knowledge, not to all man, not to me one for the talk. So we don't put up on the screen. If you in America, the toll-free line now 866-944-7722. Okay, can we listen to the next caller on the line?
Okay, sir. Did you get me loud and clear, sir?
Yes, I did get you loud and clear. Go ahead.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you so much, Engineer Victor, for the invitation to this platform. I really appreciate you gesture this afternoon. Of course, I shall say you don't introduce me to the listeners and viewers. Joe Squire in Botswana.
Okay, Joe, before you go
so
down,
basically,
because we expect Joe, just give me 1 minute. I'll introduce you because I've not been introduced, you've not been come online.
Okay, all right.
For anyone when they listen, we get what we Salone brother, Joe Square, in based in Botswana. And he's a childhood friend of this other brother. We have been died recently in a road accident, in that book Kenema Road. Eric Lance, and may his soul rest in peace. So, ladies and gentlemen, Lord welcome Joe Square on this program. Let's give you your experience from Botswana and Sierra Leone. Joe, go ahead.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much, Engineer. Well, I want actually focus on Eric in death in connection with road safety in Sierra Leone. If which I get was correct, Eric in death related to three causes. I think that the first one there was overspeeding on the driver's part. Then the second one was that I think Eric was not using seat belt. He was in the back seat and he was not belted. Then number three, I also feel say the driver was also ignorant. He was not quite aware of the road safety rules, because I understand say there was a tire fire on the front tire fire, and he has to apply brake immediately. And you can't do that on the highway when high speed, because surely the vehicle go somersault. So I understand say there was a somersault situation where, because Eric was not belted, right? He got off the vehicle, and he hit the tar road. That's how he died. So three causes there. Overspeeding was one, and number two was that the driver was not aware of what Eric was not belted. Now bringing it back to Botswana, Osami Day. This is a country where I can assure you say road safety gets a very massive public education. Like, it's not a matter of like police come stop you, because every single person knows say when I'm on the road, I have to be aware of every rule and regulation, because the thing is, it's a law in the country, it's enforced. That's the reason why when you're on the road, we get speed limits on every road in this country, speed limits than day. And the way how it happened at Salone, I think that place where Eric died is a township. So I can't expect any driver for overspeed between Tayama and any other village in Sierra, because it's like one village from another. So the thing is that we also need to ensure that probably we police them. I think I see person mentioned on the comment section that there is corruption, which is key, because in Botswana, when police catch you, engineer, when police catch you, whether you are a governor or anything, you are charged right there, and you actually pay that offense. You pay for the offense, and there are cameras everywhere. There are street lights everywhere. So it's hard for you to actually escape in terms of anything they do when are like offense against the traffic rules. So again, I feel say with transport section for team up with the police, because police go catch driver with a very rough tire, worn out tire, for example. That tire they go fire anytime. There is no inspection. There is no careful inspection of roadworthiness of vehicles. Once the person give police money, that's all, right? So there has to be public education that whether I give police money or not is about your own safety. You will get 1,000 leons or whatever, but once you get on the road, it's between you now and your life. It's not about the police anymore. Police will not take you money, but on your part, your life is at risk. So for me, I feel there has to be like massive public education in terms of road safety, roadworthiness, and awareness among our people. Because even you, when you enter into a vehicle, sir, you have to realize that the seat belt is not for the police, it's for your own safety. If you feel, say, you don't wear a seat belt, police will arrest you, it's wrong. It has to be you knowing that this seat belt is actually safeguarding my life, right? So for the driver, it's like an aeroplane, sir. When we enter flight, for someone who don't fly like thousands and thousands of times, each time you enter any aircraft, the first thing is there's instruction on safety, seat belt, fasten your seat belt. It's said over and over and over again. Whether it's 50 times you fly, you will hear it 50 times in every aircraft. So as a pilot, if you ensure, say, before you take off the plane, every single passenger is actually guarded, seated, belted for takeoff, landing, and even in terms of like turbulence. But in Sierra Leone, even most drivers are not belted. They can just drive recklessly. The government say there is no awareness. They can buy license, in fact. So I feel say even the license issuance must be very thorough, such that the right person people can get license. Then that takes me to the system here in Botswana about the MV benefits. Okay, that the MVA fund mandate in Botswana. For people out there who don't understand what's in the MVA, basically, it's a motor vehicle accident fund within Botswana, where the EU mandate now provide compensation in the form of benefits as defined in the section 20 of the Act, the Transport Act at the country. The second mandate now provide third-party insurance cover, right, to drivers and owners of motor vehicles in accordance with the same section provision in the Transport Act. Then for also promote road safetiness and accident prevention. So this MVA in Botswana, where initially in 1986 where it started, it was who was at fault. If you are at fault as a driver, right, you actually carry the expense of everything. But in 1998 of the Act, we're now making that no matter who are responsible for the accident, there has to be compensation for victims in that accident. So when it happened like that, you realize, say, there is care, there is a thorough inspection of the vehicle. Even before you move the motor car, they check everything. Drivers are checked accordingly. Like there is system, there is procedure. You need to bribe police. It's so orderly. And with that system, you get medical care, you get rehabilitation, you get a compensation for loss of income, loss of your support, then funeral arrangement in case there is death involved. Okay, so I feel say like in our country, the whole thing is about resensitization of the whole every single person, whether it's a passenger, the drivers, the whole system needs to be overhauled, such that even for what side you give person license based on merit, not sell license because it's not proper. Okay, like you a scenario, sir. There was a time when I was sick here in Botswana. I couldn't drive.
Anyway, Fambulem, we all lost from Botswana. If he come back, sometime he will continue to see the talk. So for that gets
can you hear me?
Yes, you're back online, sir.
Yeah. Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, you can. Yeah, it's very intermittent. We are not getting you clear. We need to get you clear, bro. Okay, so now what to learn from this experience where we brother share with we is that we get for not only look
Yes,
at no system.
can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, sir. You're going on and out, in and
Oh,
out.
oh.
So how long more do you want to continue your contribution?
I'm closing now.
Okay, now you wait you go close with Pawilo could continue because I want give other people a chance for talk now.
Yes, wonderful. Yeah, like way I say, like I want a scenario about like a time when I was sick, we unable to drive. I asked somebody for drive for me, for take me to the capital, not knowing a license with him. We got to a police roadblock, and they realized we are charged something like $150 equivalent. We paid the money. The vehicle was impounded. Now me we get license, 90 vehicle from the police, then I go the hospital. If na Salone, right there, the guy who had no license for don't bribe police and just PM, and it can cause accident anywhere. So for me, it's all about public awareness, sensitization, and making sure that even the transport and police officers do their work with diligence and honesty. No bribery. Make sure that things go by the order. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. Now we on brother from Botswana. For some of the things that we talk about, let's just make a brief comment, then I go get other people there for kind side. He talk about public awareness. And I can tell you, I say, I don't do in this transport business for 46 years. And I start not very Salone. When I left school, I trained as an air traffic control officer na Lunge Airport. So that example that we give of aircraft passenger them, we can still do them with road passenger, especially them bus the way they go upline. What I would suggest now, very cheap thing. We get Bluetooth there now and everything. It's the responsibility of the driver and the conductor. They can get a 5-minute clip where they play to the people them before they go, before the vehicle left. Talk about safety, you understand? And all that thing, and they just like we did our aircraft before the pilot take off way then at the runway, then get people there where they telling her about safety and things to do with accidents and emergency. So we can do them.
Yeah.
That they possible, we can do them. But hopefully, the good news is, because law not just talk about the bad thing, not talk about the good things and where they happen. The government gets a program where the World Bank, the fund, where they call the SLIOM, that is Salone Integrated Resilient Urban Mobility Program. They can't get more than buses then. And government not going to run transport anymore. So you go then at the private sector. So hopefully, we'll get bill where they go through parliament now. We'll be able to set their standards and they. But not to just forget the standards and get the laws and everything, now implementation. And not telling her waiting at the problem. Because me in a post where I left for court things them. Now the laws they will get. Law counter enforcement. I mean, don't talk saying that 3 enforcement agencies they will get. Now before now police they enforce road traffic law. Then in 2003, the government under late President Kaba amend the act and create the traffic warden service. Wait for complement the police. But then give enormous powers to that traffic warden service. And it did it under section 2F of the amendment say the traffic warden get the same powers and privileges of the police. But then the controversy is, they don't get power of arrest. But these are things we don't bring. We get body in a salon we call like the ombudsman, when I have for look into maladministration. But people, they don't complain. When some of the enforcement officers, they will stop you. They say, they jump inside your vehicle, no drive, go now your office. Then they're not supposed to be. So the key question is, who is policing the police, or who is policing the enforcement officers? So we get a lot for do. There are a lot of agencies that are involved. But we will get there. That is why some of we they do them program here. And through to form, we get people that are in power where then they listen, and also when they listen, then they try to make changes. So we don't just put all the blame on government. So now that number will get for say. But again, education is very important. Education from the schools, for them picking them where they work on the road. Education for the driver them, we Okada rider them, we Keke rider them. Education for the public. And once I don't suggest, now begin using community radio. I hope say the chairman, when Mr. Kalilu Tutange, when they do a good job, I hope say go listen and we will try for get them for let us see how we can help for develop road safety awareness program over the broadcast in community radio. So now that I get for say. So the lines are still open. I think if the technical team can actually put in the numbers, repeat them back. We need more voices. You can call through WhatsApp. If you call from America, now 866-944-7722. You can use WhatsApp. 866-944-7722. If you're calling from UK, we're at +44 20 8089 145 +44 20 8089 1455. If you call from Australia, now +61 29098 4337. Then we get WhatsApp number. When I'm making number, you can call me through WhatsApp. When at 343 997 5828. 343 997 5828. My family where they listen. I see we get calls the way they kind time. The technical team I can bring any caller in, they will get their own contribution. Technical team, are you here? In the area, you know, get people the way they call.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Hello. Thank you, Mr. Mengot, and also I want to thank 1 minute, please. I want to thank Mr. Joe Squire for taking the time out for joining me for discuss this road safety issue. I mean, we have lost friends, definitely. Remember today, Momo Conte died in a similar manner in which Mr. Lanson Asef died. I mean, they were both friends. Been a friend to both of them. And it's a huge loss, not only for their families, but for their friends as well. So this education, this make when Mr. Mengot begin to do this work in Sierra Leone, and he does this work all over the place. We really want government, we want for appeal to the government of Sierra Leone for say this road safety education. Then get for make up a priority in our country. People like when Mr. Joe Squire just explained that accidents we don't be when twice now we don't know say this don't be, or maybe more than twice, only because the name people also we know about. For say where you tire, me not the driver, don't drive one day, you know. So if you tire boss, not use your brakes. You know, I think this education, we have to be on social media. We get mass education for go on na Sierra Leone, you know, for say to the people, and we get for land the ropes. We die, people they die for nothing. They ought not to have died if only they knew what to do. So I'm just saying, today is a very sad day, but also I am impressed with the idea that Mr. Mengot and Mr. Squire, they're on this program. They try for educate the people. We know so this is not the only program. There are 2 more programs coming, and we hope we go able to get a lot of people and for share this link here for make we go able for save lives. Thank you, everybody.
Yes, thank you, Madam Janet. I just see somebody will respond to Mr. Squire. Say what we have learned from our brother in Botswana is that their government is proactive and make sure that society is well informed about road safety. Yes, a lot of government in Edwam. I've been privileged to work in a lot of these governments. I can give examples from Kenya, from Rwanda, from Tanzania, from Botswana, and the thing goes on. So yes, again, we appeal to proper government, but also not to governments no more. One of the things where I feel to say, companies then we get what they call corporate social responsibility. And one of the cause of road accidents now the misuse of mobile telephone communication. Either they text people them where they drive, or you use your mobile phone where they work on a treat, or like that young girl working in Okada, we don't get appointment. If they rush, if they call, you use the mobile phone, you don't get helmet, they say, I didn't know that they come. That their own responsibility that. So for that, like that mobile company, most people that when you top up, they say for begin to send SMS message about road safety. When I was in Kenya, I worked with mobile company to promote safety. So company like that one, and they then get the responsibility, long not left the work no upon government. Because of the use of them products, or we say the services, when people then they put their life at risk. So then self get not to all time for they go fund them thing they like big sister show and everything. Then sexual the money when they put parenting and the money when they make from the people in a tongue, if they actually want to exercise and corporate social responsibility, let them begin fund road safety. Simple. You can send text message, SMS message when you top up, then send you road safety message, say, not use your phone where they drive, not use your phone where they cross street. Even if you go to them petrol station, one company will give kudos to na NP, because you go to the NP petrol station, you will see sign where say, where they at the station, then they full your car, for use your mobile phone. So these are the things. So now let me take the other comment now. Gustavo Kanu, it's all about the righteous leader taking action to save our people life. Why? Because complaining is not going to resolve nothing but add more trouble to the plate. It's better to take action with faith. Yes, my brother, I resonate with your comment. Now, so this year, as I said at the beginning, the theme for the World Remembrance Day for accident victims, which is remember, we don't remember, Sister Janet don't remember, people don't go, support and act. And when we say support, you support government, you support organizations. I can tell you now, I set up the Sierra Leone Roads Campaign for Safer Roads in Sierra Leone. For people that want to find out more, we're there on the Facebook page. We also get a website. I can read the sign for you. It's www.roadsafesalone.com. Personally, I don't spend a lot of my money in doing this campaign. And in doing this campaign, I actually did do as a matter of my own for give back to society. So, if we the people, because the government is made by the people, election they come now. If you go on social media, 90% of what people and they discuss, now SLPP, APC, NGC, that's all they're talking about. But we appoint these leaders every year. Do we force them? Do we hold them accountable? We have members of parliament, 130 something. I have lobbied where in some country you get parliamentary unit on road safety. There are ways for do that. The parliament get for they call them people and they get select committee them where they shadow like the Ministry of Transport. So all these things, you know, we get for all people then to account. Not to one grain policy no more for Drum. Now we all effort. We Salone brother then go say, hey, but not to for take no action. Road safety is a responsibility of me and you. And la say back. Then one day when they go home for go festive season. We don't work hard in that country here. Then they go back for go see their family, friends, and loved ones. And I be careful when I go on the road. You don't know anything that happen. Make sure you get your insurance in case of emergency. Because even our health system is also a challenge. So these are the sort of things we are talking about. Let not just they expect everything from government. Let we as individuals come together and work together. There are so many projects we can do together. Some of the things I've been advocating for. Now then roadside clinics on the highway where people can get emergency. We don't see say where accident be. Waiting at the trend. All man they rush at the scene. So man they take a mobile phone. He take picture them. He video them. He put them all around say. He did on social media. Just imagine you then you host. You see a video of your family where don't die. So until you in a post where get weak heart, it can cause more trouble. All them things are true for stop. So man they go there, he go for go thief. You know? The other thing where they happen, when accident be, we get what we call first responders. Normally na the people in the area where they go. In Tanzania where they work right now, we they train community safety people them. Because waiting they happen when accident be before the emergency is the now then they go to the scene for teach they're waiting for do. Things like how the patient handling, how for take people in the car. If somebody lost breath, how for revive them, how for do basic first aid. These are things we can do outside government. And when they talk about people that we don't go, let's give an example again. I remember some time ago, we had one of our prominent footballer, Alpha Joe, who was involved in an accident. He was trapped in his car. And for save that man in life, we get what we call the life jaw. Now machine where you're able to take cut metal for pull up. Simple, that machine they not cost less more than $3,000. But they lift the man inside the car, he was traumatized, and they cause more damage. So these are what we are talking about. Again, the lines are still open. Call us on WhatsApp using our American line 343-997-5828. 343-997-5828. Let's hear from you. Technical team, do we have any more callers on the line? Yes? Somebody talk about do the CPR test on them to save their life. Okay. Now we talk about accident emergency response. Let me go back to the Road Traffic Amendment Act 2003 in Sierra Leone, because I want to address this issue about the CPR test when they talk for save life. One of the responsibilities we then give to traffic warden them, because I don't do an audio and Creole for them, for let them know the rules and responsibilities when they use during a muster drill. When an accident happens, now we red safety cops then get for go there for secure the scene, clear the scene. They also give them the responsibility for take care of the victims and transport them to the nearest health center or clinic. Now the law and day, right? The key question, one, are these people trained to do that work? Two, we don't talk about National Ambulance Service. During Ebola, government buy a lot of ambulances. A lot of countries then give ambulance. The last time I go to Salone, sorry enough, I see all the ambulance they didn't pack na carry town. Some of them they don't cannibalize, they don't take them part. For God's sake, why can't we have a national ambulance service? Why can't we have ambulances well equipped on the roadside? Again, I talk about corporate social responsibility. The insurance companies, they should come in, because then they take premiums every year, and at times they can be reluctant for pay people the insurance. So they should come in for reduced risk. You know, they could team up with agencies. In Kenya, for example, all public transport, before you operate, I was there in Kenya for 7 years. You get forget national, what's it called, national health insurance, the NHIF. You get for register, so that if there's accident or whatever happen, or you driver, you get a card the way, then they pay regularly. You can go to the nearest clinic. That is what we are talking about. Now, somebody else there will say, Salone don't know CPR when people die in accident. This really has to be implemented, as so many other methods. Yes, this is something again I don't run what pan, accident and emergency response. I did a lot of program on that. In fact, when we get the Wellington fire disaster, I did some program on BBC World Service and focus on Africa, and gives examples of different accident scenarios elsewhere and what you need for do. Even things like you get for set standard, like minimum response time. That's why they advocate for law getting clinics here on the highway, roadside clinics. Put another major highway, another junction, and place like Waterloo Junction, mile 38, mile 47, mile 91. These are things which the insurance company can contribute to. Because when people get accident, you get first stage and first responder. Whether they go there, but then we get forget standard for the response time for the emergency service. We get forget the right clinics them. I know say recently government announced it and they set up a trauma hospital. That is good. When we get the Wellington accident, we know say that thing they will realize say for God's sake we not get a bonds units na our country. One of the most common forms of accident now, them people they wait for our car that them broke foot. You know, we forget specialist care, orthopedic surgeons, all these are needed. All these are needed, but government alone cannot work. They have to work in partnership with the insurance industry. They have to work in partnership with the petroleum industry down there where they sell petrol. They have to work in partnership with the mobile company. Let's come together. Let's remember. Let's support. Let's act. I repeat again. Remember, support, and act. So I could take a rest there. Is there any more comments? Because we'll get half an hour for the program done. Technical team, if we have calls on the queue, just bring them in now. We want to listen to them. My technical team, are you there? Okay, now, whilst we wait for the technical team, I think say the last point what we want to make, and somebody be no comment about that. Now wait till they call road design, the road speed, the road design, because each road get a designated speed based on the use of the road, whether on a national highway on an urban road and get speed. But then how would they make the road? We don't see beaucoup time where rain season can come. The whole of Freetown don't turn river. We they see audio them during the rain season them where Okada driver then they ride inside there and water then they. How do we design our roads? We look at with drainage system. We were the Freetown, we remember say we get one big gutter, that gutter where they call Samba gutter. We come up for Bien Quarry and PWD go down Bay. Now it's smart them in build that gutter there. They use bricks. You know? Anytime rain season can that gutter there they overflow. Now the one green main gutter and the one also we get a tongue. But when they build the road, also the other thing what we get for talk about, in the past we been get city council sanitation people them. Where we be small, now a must. You get for clean your gutter before you hose. Because where people in the throw dirty in a gutter, then gutter there in the block during rain season, we they get overflow, the place they flood, and we just talk about climate change and disaster, where they talk about worldwide now. Your environment now your responsibility. Not expect government for do everything for you. Your environment now your responsibility. And as they say, cleanliness is less to godliness. We now people that we like pray. Salone are one of the countries where we get religious tolerance. We get Muslim there, we get Christian, all tell they pray. But they say, God not gonna help you if you not help yourself. So then prayer and they Lord not put into action. So also when they talk about road design, we get what you call in the engineering term traffic restraint measure. What I mean by that? Things that on the road, how they design the road for reduced speed. And we brother we've been talk about that area about market towns. So on them market towns and the way they approach them market towns on the highway, there are lots of street traders, there are other people them. We get for design the road, we get for look at how they put barrier, safety barrier for pedestrians letting they cross. We also get what you call rumble strips, where Talek said the road get crocro, so that when the vehicle they approach them place, then they will get boku people, it force for slow down. So you get the engineering part, but the next program, I will go into detail about that. I must pause here. Is my technical team around? Do we have any more contribution or people? We'll get less than half an hour to go on this program. Yes, somebody said, but Victor, Papa government or all political parties, not forgetting civil society groups on the ball on this matter, training in first aid. Definitely. And in fact, with civil society, they don't become more politicians than the politicians. So they self get a lot to do. I get some group them because we are they interact with people that know, but these people need support from you and me. And I can tell you the one they will get now in a Salone where they work with. We get the Passenger Welfare Association. We get a gentleman called Thomas Barnett, who is an added campaigner for passenger welfare. I work with him. These people need your support. We get another group in a Salone called Road Safety Watch. This is King Capri Bar. We get these people who go to the scene, who record the accidents. Yes, they're doing something for Mama Salone, but they need support. You know, if we come and look at how we can support with people, yeah, support the organizations they are. Let we show government what we can do for ourselves. If we show government what we can do for ourselves, then government go open your eye and continue. But if we always blame government, the winner they take responsibility, then we will talk about the same thing. Now, I can give you several examples. When the poor man died, nobody don't know. We get thousands of people that were involved in the accident. When the prominent people die, people come, then get outpouring of grief, then talk about it, then blame government. But after that, we bury the person, all thing done. So again, I go repeat. We don't want more victims then. We don't want for the member to demand them. We want for protect the living. So we all go live together. So it's me and you. If I make a challenge now, I don't know how much Leoneans and they way they listen to this program will rate on YouTube. If I say like that roadside clinic, then why they talk? I don't get the project where I don't do everything, I don't get the design. And for do that roadside clinic there, the first site will be the talk about now Waterloo. And it costs no less than at least with $40,000. You can put on that clinic they go there, it go they do three things. It go able for protect people that will get accident on the road around that vicinity there. It go able to give primary health care to the local population. We know they do occupational health check. Where we drive them. Now then country here you get for do them. Even other countries them. For check your eyesight, check your blood pressure. Again, regular check, fatigue, and all that thing. So there's a lot of things we can do together. And together we'll make a difference. Some of we go talk, you know, some of like this program what they do and some of the work where they do. When I go to an African country, they pay me, right? And I use part of my money to spend on campaign. I can tell you, the Road Safe Salone, where I don't get at the website, we organize people to get Captain Akono, we get a Rukupu, we get a Lonsar, we get a Potloko. But the lack of support and the lack of funding, now we not get. Now that's not the issue. I can't be on my own. I can't do it, be a lone voice in the wilderness. I don't want people to think I'm a project champion. I want people to see me as an influencer and join me and other many other people, many unsung heroes where they help fight this menace of road safety. We get a campaign for safer roads in Sierra Leone. Go on Facebook, we're there. We go to website, roadsafesalone.com. And I go there and I go see some of the work that we don't do. I don't go salon in the past. I don't organize street theaters them. Na them lorry park for sensitize people them. I don't do a lot of those things with the support of people in a salon. Well-meaning people. We need more of this. We need education. We need awareness. We need action. Let us remember, low support, low act. I must pause for this time being and check with the technical team. We have less than 20 minutes. And I will let them people the way they listen and are coming, now share the ideas. We not get, there's no monopoly in knowledge. You know, I want to hear from people in a salon. Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for our country. Yes, I see somebody comment say civil societies are politicians working to fool their pockets, not the interests of the citizens. Fine. Yeah. But with that comment, you get different civil societies then. You get different societies. Yes, again, the person say give and don't expect nothing back. Definitely, my brother, we are doing that, you know. I'm not asking for people to pay me or to praise me. I'm doing what I have to do. I can tell you now, in 2017, I personally went to the police, offered my services to the traffic police department in Sierra Leone for giving technical assistance, right? And one of the outcomes of that, we produced, I can show you now, the police begin produce annual traffic report. If you look, you see, like I said, these are the first reports we produce. Traffic Management and Police Safety Directorate, Annual Report 2017. We don't do 2018, 2019, 2020. These are part of the work that I've been doing with the police. Because without data, we're not able to know what's in the cause of accidents. So we get all the reports here, they produce the report here, year in, year out. But do we act on the report? My next broadcast, now for look at the accident analysis and statistics and gain a real figure and how we go able for curb accident. Because without data, you cannot curb it. This is what has been produced in the police. I remember I went there, I think it was 2019 or so, when we do the 2018 traffic report. I was there at police headquarters when we launched it. Yeah. But then the other issue, when you talk about this, I remember people talk about the police. We need professional traffic officers in the police. They need support. I'm one of the champions for police traffic division in terms of, we call them the force for good. So these people, they need support, they need equipment, and I'm sure they're willing to help. So let's support our institutions. Let's show what we can do. Let's give them the chance. With time, corruption will not go wipe them out. But I can shock you now. The British man say, he who pays the piper calls the tune. But also, they say, if you pay peanuts, you get monkeys. Look at who police pay them. I can tell you now from here, An inspector in the police in take-home pay, not past $100 a month. Right? He expects to get one bag rest. Yeah? Even housing for police, we're talking about that. Now, us business na tongue, it's ganga. Pambodi, then they ask 5 million for a year. So, if you want people then for be responsible, we're not going to wipe out corruption, but give them the incentive. Pay them well. Even if you don't increase their salary. Give them the equipment for work. You know? And we'll talk about bribery. It can't two ways. Bribery comes from one side. It comes from the other side. The man where they give bribe, he's guilty. The one where they receive bribe, he's guilty. Let me give you this scenario. If you get a police officer, if they Kalbatong or Waterloo, when are they go get affordable housing? If they work in a Freetown. This is a reality check. The fare for Waterloo to Freetown na 7,000 each way. So if you calculate them, that's 7,000 and 7 new Leos. Let's say it get for pay 14,000 every day for car work. In salary under all Leos, not pass 1 million. So what's he get for do? He get for big lifts from the same put them where he get for enforce the law. So, how you able to enforce that law? We get people that we don't complain. You send policeman go na tree, then get what they call booking. Yeah? Where they don't connive with the driver then. Where they pay you regular booking because the policeman say one survive, you know? And we flout traffic laws like overloading, you know, go arrest you. These are things we have to stop. Let's look at taking care of our enforcement officers. So if we take care of them, we make sure, say, we discipline them. There are very many ways for monitor them. Until we do these things, we will continue to blame the police for bribery. We will continue for blame driver them for reckless behavior. We will get system for test driver and train driver. So, it's a whole vicious circle. So, my brother and sister, them, I get 10 more minutes for now to finish this program. So, if you get any comments, now I can listen to you now. Thank you very much for the compliments. We will continue I'll continue my work. We get African parable. We say when an old man die, it's a whole library lost. Right? I appreciate the benefits where I don't get from my country. That is why I give back. Because the days that when we go to school, then we get scholarship. And it was based on merit. And I benefited from that. I don't care abroad. I don't have knowledge. I go back to pass on that knowledge to my country people. And it is not just Sierra Leone. I've been doing this work for the past 20 years in over 15 countries in Africa. I'm offering my services to my people in Sierra Leone without asking for any reward. I'm asking you for your support. I'm asking you for your support so that we can stop all this unnecessary death. Me a Christian, the Bible give me 3 square and 10, which means now 70 years old. And they slowly reach that point there. So I'm looking for a younger generation who will take the baton and relay people that will go empower. We will continue this, but this road accident thing, na serious thing. It get for stop. Will not put politics inside it? But the politicians, they get a work for do. The parliamentarians, they get a work for do. The civil society, where some man now, because of their involvement in politics and campaign, some man don't begin call the evil society. Let them go back to the civil society now for working the interest of our people. Our community leaders, the religious people, they are religious leaders them, the pastor, then the imam them. Pastor, you go church, you get sermon every day. I want that next Sunday, this week where they cancel, starting the 14th, the Salone Road Safety Authority, they organize a whole week of events for commemorate them. And they challenge we imam them. When I got Jumat on Friday, and I take the message to the people them. And they challenge we reverend them. On that Sunday, when at the 20th, when at the world remembrance of victims, let us focus on road safety, citizenship's rights, duties, and obligation. So with that, I feel to say it's time to close the program now. So I thank you very much. I thank you very much for when I listen to me. Yeah. Yes. There's somebody again who appreciates. He said I was given scholarship in from 1 to 3, and I was in the poor carpenter in the Ministry of Works by then. Very good. Yes. So most of us benefited from that system. You know, I mean, from somebody like me, I've left Sierra Leone for over 4 decades. But I can tell you, I say, apart from the road safety, I've been working in the health sector in Sierra Leone. So I've done projects from the days of the late Ahmed Jankaba to the past government and to this government. But it's not all doom and gloom. There are some good things coming to Sierra Leone, and me program them what I'm going to do. I will talk about the good things. Right now, we get a massive program for reform public transport. And then I will come to you now at the beginning of next year. So this, as I say again, now a 3-part series. Today, we don't talk about the causes of road accidents. We don't talk about the things they do. My next program next week, God willing. Now for actually going into details, I don't show you now this one, I put it up again. The police, they report, police, they do accident reports, and SLRS itself, they do accident report. So my next program, I will do next Sunday or next accident investigation and analysis. What I mean by that? When you get an accident, you get for look at the cause. We get what we call root cause analysis. When the accident happened, who say it happened, who they involved, how involved. So next, I will use the accident data again, a real figure of the number of Okada people that we don't get accident, the number of passengers that we don't get accident. Oh, I don't do a 3-year analysis. And then from that, I would now do detailed technical solutions. We'll continue to give the solutions. We'll continue the campaign. I just see a comment. He said, thank you in educating and sensitizing our Sierra Leone people, safety on our motherland. So thank you so much. May Allah bless, protect and guide and reward you on a good job. Amen, inshallah. Me na Fulatong man. So you know, say Fulatong, we all like Christmas. We are Christian and Muslim. I very much appreciate. So with these few words, I want to say thank you to all of you who contributed to this program, to Sierra Network Radio for giving me this platform, to my brother from Botswana, Joe Squire for sharing his experience, to another good buddy of mine who has always been motivating me, Miss Janet Musa. So we thank you very much for we listen, and we hope say the one when they go church tomorrow go pray, Lord pray for forgiveness for we sins. So with that, that is my closing remark. Oh, sorry. sorry. I don't do so many program. I must apologize profusely. The host of this program, the Voice of Sierra Leone Network, in a country, they are on YouTube. Yes, they don't produce a lot of program. The Voice of Sierra Leone Network, Voice of Sierra Leone Network. We account with so many programs there for you now. When I done this series, early in the year, I get 3 other sets of programs I do. I will talk about public transport reform. Then the other one I will do, I wear so many hats based on urban planning. Now for look at land issues, because the government don't get a new law when at the land commission. So I know say beaucoup of ina work hard in the country here, and I don't give people them, famble them, and pay them money for buy land. So then in another burning issue where the Voice of Sierra Leone Network go deal with urban planning and with housing challenges. So I thank you very much, and for use the military term, permission to bow out. God bless Mama Sierra Leone.
The discipline of mass communication does not matter at any time than now, when the world has become a global village. Now we have to communicate in a global voice when your local audience get along. The ability to use the 21st century media tools as an end user, and also the most sophisticated tools either online or offline with professional tutoring at every level, that is what we provide.
One aspect I am grateful for at the Central University Mass Communication Department is the confidence I have in myself.
I know my study in the media is top-notch, and I can compete at global levels. At the Central University, there is no dull moment when learning.
The environment is serene and friendly.
The department prepares us for radio, television production and filmmaking. We are also prepared for multimedia content production, marketing and advertising. We are accustomed to different softwares to unearth our ideas and test theories taught in class with different world-class professionals, instructors and mentors.
The real-life experience here at Central University in Sierra Leone.
I am going to be a multimedia content producer and a social media expert.
It has always been my dream to become a communication researcher and a podcaster. And now, my dream feels so real.
I am Khadija, a second-year mass communication student at Central University. I am a reporter and a video editor at Central University Television. Since I came to Central University, my gender has not been a limitation. I work with guys and do what they can do, and even much more better.
Apply today and be part of the Central University family, the epitome of modern education in Sierra Leone.